Right, so, first of all, different background. Had to change it up. This is the only time, hopefully, that is going to happen, so sorry about the more bland background today. Um, I wanted to come in, I did my, best of 2024 video, and I wanted to come in here and kind of talk about what are my plans going forward into 2025, and I don't really have any plans, and I think that might be justification enough to make a video, because a lot of content creators come on to this platform and they talk about what all of their plans are for the year, and I want to get this done, I want to get that done, I want to have a big theme towards this year and what my content's going to look like. I think with last year, with 2023, I had a big thing in mind of wanting to get a video done every day. That ended up being unfeasible pretty much towards the end of January. It became pretty much impossible for me to do that while also streaming every weekday, getting TikTok stuff done. It became pretty much impossible. I don't have a team behind me with the videos. It is just me on my own doing all of this, which is why everything looks so amateurish. But I did come to a realization, I think, with doing that video as well, the amount of problems I had with Filmora, behind the scenes, having to change my editing software for that video. The biggest thing for me is I'm not shit. I'm is kind of having that confidence of I'm relatively funny. I've been told multiple times, I mean, I can count on one hand how many times I've been told, but I've been told enough times for it to mean something by enough, different people, for it to mean something that I can make people laugh. And I'm relatively good at streaming. I can keep an audience engaged, when there is back and forth and banter. I'm relatively good at that. I'm not shit at editing. I know how to edit, and it's kind of having that reinforced into my brain, and also having an editing software which allows creative freedom. Filmora is good for when you're really starting out and when you don't know what you're doing. But I think it's a really bad tool for creativity. And in a world now which is very AI driven, creativity has taken a massive backseat. That's my opinion anyway. We're seeing so many things of people who necessarily don't have the talent or don't have, the creative mindset, doing things that people who were creative or people who are creative have been doing for tens, maybe 20 years even. And we're seeing multitudes of this AI content being drip fed, not even drip fed, basically being flushed into people's algorithms, where, I want to kind of take myself away from that even. So I think going forward, especially now that I've kind of been forced to use a different editing software, I want to kind of do more creative things with my videos, and that means maybe pulling back on the frequency of uploads, which even recently, even last year, I wasn't uploading that frequently. And I think the recent change that I took to book review videos, not reviewing books, but the ramble videos that I did, even if it comes to recording multiple sessions of just talking about my thoughts, I think it may be a thing of me talking about my book or talking about the books that I'm reading, just as and when like opinions pop into my head and stitching those together instead of having it directly at the midpoint and then directly at the when I've finished it. Let me know in the comments about that, whether you're interested in seeing that. But yeah, I think 2025 is looking like a good year for content because new phone, new editing software. We're going into this year with a lot of new stuff. I'm going to have a new capture card, which is hopefully going to be a lot better when we start streaming on what I hope will be the 7th, but it might be the 8th. I don't know. But yeah, as soon as we go into streaming again, hopefully the streams will start looking a lot better as well. So I've got a lot of optimism towards just the quality of content that's going to come out throughout this year. I don't want to put any big targets on this year. Outside of hitting 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I would love to be able to do that. I think I've been on this channel relatively consistently for coming up to 8 years, or coming up to 7 years anyway, because I started in 2017 and it's now 2025. So in November or December of this year, this channel will be 7 years old. And that is madness to me. Madness to me. And I still feel like there's not a lot to show for it. And that's not me. I'm massively grateful to everyone that comes into the streams, everyone that comes and watches the videos, that has gone over to TikTok, has followed me on various other social media platforms as well. But I do want to see a little bit I want to kind of get out of this like treading water phase. And I think with the upgrades to the actual behind the scenes tech of the channel, I think that's what will help in the long run anyway. Because like I said, I know myself that I'm not shit. Now, I know that I have the confidence of like, I'm funny, I can keep an audience. I know that I'm good. It's just putting that confidence into practice now. And that's kind of my big thing of 2025, is just being comfortable on this platform and like on camera to kind of take risks. I've been looking back at some of my older videos that I've done, and I was doing skits. I was trying things, and like I want to kind of take it back to that, I think. And you know, with the book videos, that brings in a new bit of freshness to the channel that I haven't had before. I don't know if they're doing that well, but it's more of a thing for me. Talking about games, I want to talk about games more often. I want to be able to talk about new releases more often. There's not that much that I'm interested in this year. Just really that Captain America Black Panther game and the Wolverine game, which I have high hopes for both of them. I'm not going in with super high expectations, but Insomniac did a great job with Spider-Man and Miles, so I'm really excited. I don't think I've played an Insomniac game that I haven't enjoyed, so I'm really excited for that Wolverine game. And the Black Panther and Wolverine, the Black Panther and Captain America game, I think it's called 1943 Rise of Hydra, I think it's called. That game is apparently being like written by the same people who wrote Uncharted, and that trilogy was absolutely lovely. I really enjoyed playing through that. I haven't played through the fourth one. I've owned it. Like I've owned it. There have been a lot of games that I've owned but haven't played. The big thing, like the big things to check off early in the year is finishing Final Fantasy 16. I still haven't finished it, and that's probably going to be a big thing that I do probably in February. Streams for January, my first stream back, I want to play through the entirety of Power Rangers Rita's Rewind. I want to play through the entirety of that. It's a fucking tongue twister, and I also want to go through, probably for the rest of the month, I want to go through Sly 2 and Sly 3. They both just came to the PS5 store. Haven't been able to pick them up yet, but I will be going through them very early in the year. As for YouTube stuff, I've got a massive haul that I'm planning, comics-wise, early in the year. I've also got the whole of the Mistborn trilogy I'm going to be doing videos on throughout the year, and Stormlight Archive. I'll be getting to that as soon as I'm done with Mistborn. They're all very big books, and I'm still very new to just reading books in general. It's still a very new hobby of mine, so I'm not going to be one of those channels which is like, I saw one the other day which was like, I read 80 books in 2024. These are my top 10. And I just thought, where is your life? What? I read 80 books in 2024. This is what I found. This is what I found. Chronic back pain. I now have chronic back pain. I'm unemployed. I lost my job because I didn't go to work. You know, that's the kind... I'll never be that kind of channel. I don't think I can feasibly do that. You know, I have a pretty big bar getting in the way of me doing that, which is called dyslexia. You know, I mean, sitting down and reading a comic book is different to sitting down and even reading a chapter of a book, you know, for me. But yeah, and it's a completely different way of looking and analysing books as well, because when you're reading a comic book, you got to think about artwork as well as the story. And with something like, with any kind of book, it's pretty much just what's there on it's pretty much just what is in the words, and how well can a writer's language, or how well can a writer portray to you a scene or portray to you something that's going on just through the use of words. And that's something that's completely new to me, that I obviously you learn in school, but it's something that's completely new to me. Anyways, I will end this video here. I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully that will be a video on Mistborn. But I will see you guys then. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below anything that you would like to see from the channel going forward this year. Like games that you want to see me play on Twitch. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.